Okay, welcome to another stock market update. Today is November 5th, 2017. In this video, we're going to take a look at the index ETF and then the FAANG stock, and then a couple of the recent IPO that is scheduled to report earnings next week, which is ROKU and Snap. So let's start looking at the SPY here. As you can see on the SPY, I have a few price zone here, and essentially what I'm expecting to keep an eye on some possible scenario for next week. If it could break above the zone, then we're basically looking for this thing to continue to move up to a new high and possibly come up and tag this 259.29 and maybe even get up to the 260 area. And if it can break through this zone, then I expect it to maybe come down here and test this particular price zone here between 257.71 and 256.61 for potential support. And if that fail, then we're basically looking forward to maybe come back down and test this lower price zone here between 254.58 and 253.53 here for possible support here. Okay, so that is the scenario for SPY. And then for the Q, basically looking at the Q again, also essentially continue to move up into possible new high territory if it break this particular price zone here. And if it pull back, we expect to see would it be able to hold this price zone between 152 and 151.38 for potential support, and then rebound back up and possibly put in a new all-time high. If it break this zone, then we're basically looking for it to come back down to somewhere around this 148.83 and 148.30ish, somewhere around there. So that would be the some of the level that I will be watching for the coming week. And then for the Russell 2000 IWM, as you can see that it is still in this balance area or this trading band, and essentially I'm looking for this thing to maybe come up and possibly break this balance area and into a new high. And if it can't do that, then it come down and maybe break through the zone and come back and retest this area down at the 144.46, 143.40 area. Okay, so that is the quick look at the ETF for the indexes. So let's take a look at the FAANG stock and start out with Facebook. Okay, and we can see Facebook also put in a hangman here last week, and then we saw this pullback, and this is basically the post-earning price action here. And right now I'm essentially looking for this price zone here. If we could hold this price zone and then move back up, then be looking at a new high. But if it break this price zone, then I'm looking for it to come back into this 171, 177 to 169.98, this area for potential support here. Okay. Then on the taking a look at Apple, Apple also reported earnings on Thursday, and it had a nice move up, but it did fade a little bit due to the day. But it's still, holding up the post-earning gap. So again, we basically want to see would it be able to hold this price zone, and if it could, then we're basically looking for Apple to push higher. Okay, but if it can't hold that, then I expect to come back, fill this earning gap, and test this particular price zone here between 169.95 and 168.91. And if that doesn't hold, then we expect to look forward to come back down to this 166.62 area and 165.26 for potential support. Okay, and that is Apple. And then we take a look at Amazon. And Amazon also had a nice week on the following the earning the previous week, and you can see that it came down and checked this price zone here between 1103 and 1087, and it's breaking out of this price zone. So we are looking for a continuation move and possibly take out the previous high. But if it come back to this zone here, then we're basically looking for the possibility of breaking that zone and come back down to this 1051 to 1035 area for this area to see what it'll be able to hold. And if that doesn't hold, then we're essentially looking for it to come down to this 1024, 1025 area to 1018 for Amazon. And then we are looking at Netflix. Okay. So Netflix also continue to trend higher after its earning. And as you can see, there is a couple price zone here also. I'm expecting to come up to this zone here above the 201.75 and see would it be able to break this zone and into the previous all-time high. And if it can't, move up to that zone, let's say found resistance and come back, or just kind of dip back to this zone here, we want to make sure to see would it be able to hold support between 195 and 198. And if it can't hold that support, then basically I'm looking for this thing to come back down to somewhere around this 192.66 and 191.50 for potential support. And you can see it's also in confluence with this trend line here, so that might be a little bit of a support also. Okay, and finally on the FAANG stock is Google. Okay, and Google also have a little follow through from its post earning after this big spike up. So there's still a lot of long being trapped up here, but it is coming back up, and I'm looking for this thing to break to this price zone and possibly come up to test the recent high and kind of bail out some of this those short that got trapped. Or if it can't get above this this area, this price zone between 1050, then probably looking for it to pull back to somewhere around this 1036 area. And if it can't hold this 1036, I'm looking for it to pull back into the 1031 and 1022. Okay, and see would it be able to hold this gap low. And if it cannot hold this gap, then we're basically looking for this thing to come down, fill the gap at this 1016 to 1005 price zone here. Okay, so that is the FAANG stock, and let's take a look at Snap. Snap is scheduled to report earnings on Tuesday the 7th, and I believe it's after the market close. So you can see Snap in kind of finding some support on this zone here between the 14.15 and 13.95, and come up a nice bounce and broke above this 15.50. Then it found some resistance and pulled back. So right now it's kind of been chopping around between this two price zone here, and my expectation is look for this thing to come to break to this price zone. If it could break this price zone, then it will work itself up to this near the 17 area to the next higher price zone area. And also I got a little bit of a price channel going up also, and that would be in confluence with the upper channel trend line. But if it cannot hold this this zone here between the 1550 and 1520, if it break below this price zone, then basically looking for this thing to work itself back down to this 1415 to 1395, and that is also in confluence with the lower channel trend line. Okay, so that's basically for Snap. And finally, going to take a look at ROKU. It is scheduled to report on Wednesday the 8th. Okay, so let me take this out here. And you can see ROKU came down on this IPO, held above the IPO low. Okay, and it came back up, and it's kind of bounced around here, established a price zone here between the 20 near the 21 area and the 2065 level there. Okay, and it's kind of pulled back. We saw it came down and held above this this low here, this recent low. So it's essentially it's trying to make a higher low. And if this thing could pull up and break above this 1973, then I'd be looking for it to come back up and retest this 2065 and possibly break above that, then look for this thing to work itself back up to maybe possibly to that 2360 area. But if it breaks down, let's say it could not hold this area and it come down, then I'm looking for it to come back down to this price zone of 1890 to 1853, and that could not hold, and there's a good possibility that we'll be looking at a retest of the IPO low down below the $16 level. Okay, so those are the stock and the ETF, some of the scenario for the coming week, and good luck on your trading. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up by clicking that thumbs up to give it a like. And if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube video channel, click on the subscribe button and subscribe to my video channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and good luck on your trading.